smoking a cigar and thinking about all this recent hysteria over climate change and global warming, and the little Swedish girl that spoke at the UN. It's September 23rd, 2019, and this has really been going on since the 80s. Seems like it's getting crazier. But the video of the Swedish girl, who I think is like 15 or 16, speaking at the UN, combined with other videos that have surfaced over the weekend of protest, of youth protesting how there's no change being made for the climate, very quickly brought my mind to how hysterically religious these people are. In fact, a lot of the videos I saw were eerily reminiscent of the old-time classical Southern Baptist preacher who's in the pulpit slamming his fist, yelling down to the crowd before him, slamming the Bible, calling upon a religious conviction delivered by God's wrath. It's exactly what these people sound like now. And the little Swedish girl herself was using language like, "You people have stolen my dream and my childhood and my life, and people are dying because of climate change? Climate change has stolen your life? Stolen your childhood? Stolen your dreams?" It seems crazy, but it's the norm when hysteria has hit the masses. And in a lot of ways, some of the great clinical psychologists of the 60s and 50s saw this coming, this mass man hysteria. But I don't know if they saw, maybe they did, but I don't know if they saw how religious this would become. And that's one thing I believe about humans, is that you can take away church as much as you want, talk about how bad and corrupt Christianity is, or any other religion for that matter, but man will always need some type of faith, and man will make a god out of something. But I think it was a natural fit to make a goddess out of Mother Earth. Let's call her Gaia for this talk. That was an ancient name for Mother Earth, Gaia, Mother Gaia. They've made a goddess out of her. And like most pagan religions, this goddess requires a sacrifice. That's a big requirement. So it takes a lot of religious fervor to be dedicated to the Church of Gaia. And that's what we see today. The irony of it all is that the sacrifices these zealots call for, they don't make themselves. The other irony of it is that this is coming from a church of immorality. Let me explain. Nature, Mother Nature, the earth, is not moral. I can show you. There is no morals in the jungle. A lion tackling down and ripping to shreds a zebra is not a moral act. It's not good or evil, depending on whose side you look at. It's just nature. It just is existence. To quote the Lion King, it's the circle of life. That lion doesn't sit there deceptively conniving about how it can evilly take a life today. It's hungry, and so it hunts. That's what it knows, because it's an animal, and that's nature. That's natural. The same is going on in the example of a male dog who impregnates a female dog, leaving her with a litter of 9 puppies, and he just leaves, abandons them. If a human male did that to a human female, impregnated her, let's say with 4 kids, then ditched her, we'd say that's a deadbeat dad, or a sick excuse for a man, or no man at all. Probably how I would describe them. Because humans have the ability to choose. They have a moral compass. They have a moral ability. The jungle, nature, Mother Nature, does not. It does not have a moral compass. So it's very, very interesting that this religious, hysterical church of Mother Earth that these people have made, these climate catastrophe people have made, we're talking about the world's going to end in 12 years and you shouldn't have kids, right? No one should be having kids. Don't bring kids into the world. Kill all cows. Cut down emissions. All this stuff. They're advocating for nature when nature is immoral. Nature will destroy us in the blink of an eye if it needs to. See, and that's the one thing maybe people don't understand. They don't study ancient history enough. There's been plenty of world catastrophes that have happened overnight, completely wiping away the human population, restarting. Could happen tomorrow. There's really nothing stopping it. There's nothing we can do, and I think it's one of the most arrogant stances for us to sit here and say, we as humans are affecting on a massive, catastrophic scale nature. If we ever even had that power, nature would fight back and destroy us. Now, am I denying that there's anything going on? No. I've seen the videos of dump trucks full of trash pulling up to the ocean or the shore or a cliffside and dumping all their trash in the water. It's absolutely disgusting and uncalled for. But, again, the irony of it is, there's so much irony here, to do that, to be Johnny Joe, who's the CEO of a company that maybe signs off or approves or looks the other way even on that kind of act, right? Dumping a pointed dump truck up to the coastline of an ocean and dumping it. We're talking about a moral decision. We're talking about moral laziness there. That's lazy. That's immoral. Maybe they're trying to save a buck because they don't want to pay the extra money to take it to a dump or whatever. So they dump it in the ocean. It's immoral. But Johnny Joe, the CEO of that company that decides to do that, was raised in the very same education system that the same people who are advocating for this church of Mother Nature, this church of Gaia, this climate change catastrophe stuff, those same people are the ones who dumbed down, desanitized, and demoralized our education system. I would know, I'm a teacher. I was raised by 2 teachers. They're still teaching me today. But I've seen it firsthand. Our education system has been desanitized. They've taken moral development out. They've taken character development out. It's all about how many kids can pass a test at the end of the year. Standardized test, data, get them in, get them out. Get them across stage. Do whatever we can to get them across stage. If they can't absolutely sit in a classroom, send them to an alternative school where they can do all their classes online on a computer within about 4 hours, get their degree, get them across stage. Nowhere do we stop to say anymore, hey, let's educate you not only on math, English, geography, whatever the core subjects, but also let's educate you on character. Let's educate you on who you could become. Let's educate you on life, how to balance a checkbook, how to be a parent, how to make good decisions. Let's educate you on how to be a man, on how to be a woman. I mean, God forbid you even say those words, right? You can't even say those. So I just see a giant glob of irony here with this whole issue. Because these same people who want to shut down streets and stand in front of the UN using their child as a puppet are the same ones who quite possibly might have got us in this position in the first place. If you can't change the game, try to change and fix the players. Who are the players? It's us. It's these leaders. Every leader, I don't care who they are, has to go through some type of educational system. You don't usually become the CEO of a Fortune 500 company or whatever unless you've got some type of education. Now, granted that the route of doing that without an education is a lot more frequent, I guess, today because of tech. But even then, those people at least went through high school, had to learn how to code somewhere. The education system has failed. We don't teach humans how to be humans anymore. We don't teach them how to be adults anymore. We don't teach them how to be good people anymore because we can't. We're not allowed to. We don't have the time. We don't have the language. We don't have the curriculum. We don't have the ability. Mother Earth, who's going to be your God? Who's going to be your goddess?